first. I'm Jenna Wolf. That's Chris Canty. This right here is Nick Wright. Good sir. Everyone had a good weekend?
Good weekend.
Yeah?
Good weekend. A lot of going on is in week 9 of the NFL. So let's get to it.
A ton going on. Big Monday show for you. Baker and the Browns might have hit rock bottom. Packers suffering a stunning loss to the Chargers, but we got to start with a little Sunday night football. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens hosting Tom Brady and the undefeated Patriots. Lamar was electric. 3 touchdowns, and the Ravens as a team had 210 rushing yards, the most against the Patriots since the 2014 season. Meanwhile, on the flip side, Tom Brady struggled, posting his second lowest passer rating in a game this season. And the Patriots uncharacteristically lost the turnover battle, something we never say. Ravens win 37-20, handing New England their first loss of the season. Here's Lamar after the game.
I feel like our team already knew what we was capable of, you know. We just had to show it, and we did that tonight. We just have to build off that. You know, we can't just get on our high horse, feel like, you know, we just won the Super Bowl because we didn't. That's just one regular season game. We got to continue to build.
Losses always find a way to recalibrate, you know, how you see yourself, and you know, we obviously have a lot of work to do. So, just wasn't obviously good enough. Get beat by 17 points. And that's not what we're all about. So I give the Ravens credit. I think they played really well, took advantage of their opportunities, and that's what it takes.
So the Patriots finally played a good team with a good quarterback and a good coach. How did the Ravens get this win over the Patriots, Nick?
Well, a number of different ways. Primarily, the Patriots committed the mistakes that teams typically commit against the Patriots. It started in the very beginning where you hold Baltimore to a field goal after a very long drive, and it's New England who's jumping off sides on 4th and short to give Baltimore a new set of downs. When you're climbing back into the game, it's New England who fumbles the football and has it returned for a touchdown in what was a critical moment. It's when you're trying to get back in the game, it's New England who can't get off the field. Back-to-back 14-play drives that took up nearly 18 minutes of game clock for the Baltimore Ravens. But the other thing that was very uncharacteristic for the Patriots over these last 20 years, Tom Brady looked across the field and had to say, oh, that guy's better than me. The other team had the better quarterback. That was, now, will that be the case 2 months from now? I don't know. But up to this point in the season, Lamar has been a far better player than Tom Brady. And last night, at every opportunity, Lamar showed you his time is now, and Brady's time does appear to be fading. There was no moment, there was no channeling some GOAT greatness for Brady last night. And Lamar, at every opportunity that you gave him, oh, it's 4th down, he can throw the football. Oh, it's a critical 3rd and 5 when New England's trying to get back in the game, he can throw the football. And then to ice the game, he can run the football, whether it's out on the edge or at the very end when he got pulled in by Orlando Brown Jr. So the Patriots made non-Patriot mistakes, and the other team had the better quarterback and maybe the better team. That's how they won that game yesterday.
Well, Nick, we talked about it on Friday coming into this game. There was no good defense for a quarterback that can lead the run game of the opposing offense. And that's exactly what Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator for the Ravens, and John Harbaugh went into this game thinking. We are going to utilize Lamar Jackson's ability to run the football and keep that New England Patriots defense off balance. The Patriots tried to show a lot of different looks, whether it was man coverage, zone coverage, blitzing, dropping back. It didn't matter. Baltimore had an answer for everything that they presented to them, but that shouldn't surprise us because Baltimore's coming off of a bye week, and John Harbaugh is now 10-2 as the Ravens head coach coming off of a bye week. Now, it's surprising to see a Bill Belichick-led defense struggle against a young quarterback coming into that game last night. Bill Belichick had won 21 straight games against first or second year quarterbacks, but the overall poise from Lamar Jackson is what paved the way for this team to be able to take advantage of the miscues that the Patriots had last night.
You said that Tom Brady's light was finally starting to dim a little bit last night, that he looked across the way and he looked at the better quarterback. Is that what was happening, or was this Patriots offense finally exposed? We all have been talking about it. The offensive line is banged up, beat up, and basically non-existent. They got nobody to throw the ball to, and when they did, guys like Edelman were dropping it or turning it back over again. Were they finally exposed last night?
Well, I mean, they were exposed, but part of that reason is because their quarterback's not very good right now. We can't just, no one disputes. Lamar said it after the game. Marcus Peters said it after the game, that Tom Brady's the GOAT. But up to this point in the season, he's been around the 11th, 12th, 13th best quarterback in football. He has been playing under the most advantageous circumstances any quarterback can possibly play in. They always have the lead. The other team is always pressing, and as an added benefit, aside from the Buffalo game, they'd played bad defense after, not just bad quarterback, bad defense after bad defense. And while Julian Edelman and Mohamed Sanu are not a great wide receiving core, the guy who right now is the league MVP in Russell Wilson is doing it with a rookie who maybe should be a shot putter, and Tyler Lockett, who he's turned into a star. The offensive line is not good right now. I understand it. And they abandoned the run yesterday to a degree I didn't think they would. They didn't seem comfortable running the football. But some of this has to sit on Brady's shoulders as well, along with the 9 Super Bowls, the 3 MVPs, and the 6 Super Bowl rings. He has not played very well, and yesterday he was clearly one of the Patriot weak links.
Well, listen, Tom Brady and that Patriots offense was largely one-dimensional because before you could blink, they're down 17-0. The Baltimore Ravens couldn't have scripted a better start to that game. I mean, you have 2 11-play drives to start off that game, and you got a 10-point lead, and then you all of a sudden are able to tack on to that with another extended drive. But then you look at what the Ravens defense did, and we talked about it on Friday with Patrick Owusu, their middle linebacker, coming back. He was an impact player last night. He was the one that forced the fumble on Julian Edelman early in that third quarter. But seeing how that defense was able to stop the run, Brandon Williams, Michael Pierce, their 2 nose tackles, that allowed their defensive coordinator, Wink Martindale, to heat up the pass rush. And we knew the Ravens couldn't rush the quarterback with just 4. We knew they were going to have to be creative with it, and they were able to do that in large part because they're working with a lead for the entire game.
I have to ask you about this Patriots defense. The defense that statistically was one of the best we've ever seen suddenly looked... Well, they looked like any other defense yesterday. Have we been sort of miscalculating because of who they've been playing up until now?
Listen, I still think this is a great defense they have in New England. Now, I did think Baltimore was going to win. I didn't think Baltimore was going to win by scoring 37 points, and you can say 30 on offense because there was the scoop and score 7. We knew that they were susceptible to the run game, which is one of the reasons Baltimore could present a particular issue to them. Even Football Outsiders with their DVOA stat, they adjust for competition. And even adjusting for competition, Canty, this was a historically great defense leading into last night. I know a lot of people are going to say the defense got exposed yesterday. To me, this was more indicative of a Patriots offense unable to get things going, and the defense played poorly, because when the Patriots did get back into the game, it was because of 2 Baltimore mistakes. 2 Baltimore fumbles set up short fields that allowed New England to get 10 points to make this closer at halftime than it otherwise would have been.
Yeah, the game flipped on that Cyrus Jones muff punt. I mean, if he doesn't have that play, it could have got ugly.
24-0.
They could have got ugly a lot earlier in that game. But you talk about the adjustments in the X's and O's and how good that Patriots defense is. It's hard to adjust, Jenna, for the overall physicality that the Baltimore Ravens are bringing to the table. And that's the one thing that we don't talk about. Physicality neutralizes the talent on the opposing side of the ball, and that's what Baltimore did a good job of dominating last night. The offensive line, they did their job, Marshall Yanda and company, and then the defensive front for the Baltimore Ravens, keeping the run game for the Patriots in check. They weren't able to have balance on the offensive side of the ball, and that's what made Tom Brady struggle. A lot of hits on Tom Brady. He looked uncomfortable all night long, and they just couldn't get anything going.
And Canty, Belichick and Josh McDaniels and Tom Brady knew they couldn't handle the physicality of Baltimore defensively, and that was shown at the very end of the first half when New England has a chance to all of a sudden, are you kidding me, this game's going to be tied at halftime, 1st and goal from the 6. They only run the ball once. When they get 4th and goal from the 1-yard line with 10 seconds left, all of a sudden you see who's their kicker now, Folk. You see Nick Folk trotting onto the field because they didn't believe they could get that 1 yard. Not very Patriot-esque historically, but it wasn't shocking to see Belichick take the points in that spot there because I didn't think they'd get that yard either.
Enough can't be